YouTube? Welcome back to Common Sense, Logic, and Reason. And as always, thank y'all for joining me, and I always appreciate it. Today, I want to revisit this whole issue of Republicans never fighting back, never defending themselves, in spite of all the malicious attacks from the Democrats. The Democrats, they lie, steal, cheat, bear false witness. Basically, completely violate all the Ten Commandments without losing a bit of sleep. And the Republicans do nothing. They don't defend themselves. They very rarely do they defend each other. You know what I'm saying? As soon as the heat comes up, they mostly run and throw each other to the wolves rather than to stand and defend each other and fight and pretty much combat the nonsense. And the Democrats give them ample ammunition to fight back, but they do nothing. A perfect example would be this whole Kavanaugh nonsense. Brett Kavanaugh, who's going to be confirmed to the Supreme Court, and in the 11th hour, held the 11:30th hour. True to form with the Democrats, these liberals, they pull out these sexual assault cases. That's their bread and butter. Now, the first woman, Christine Ford, she claimed that at a party when they were in high school 36 years ago, that quote-unquote Kavanaugh basically pulled her into a room, and when they were all drunk, and basically threw her on a bed and rolled on top of her for 10 seconds, and she just so traumatized, saying that she can't fly on planes because she can't be in a room without more than two doors, even though she flew frequently, and then at the hearing, she just all frightened, like she goddamn Shaggy and Scooby or something, putting on the act. She claimed she basically had put out 4 witnesses, and each one of them did disagree. They didn't confirm it. Her story is just not adding up. Nothing about the story is adding up. She doesn't remember anything. No times, dates. She doesn't remember how she got to the party, how she got home. All she remembered was Kavanaugh. And then another female came forward, and apparently she accused Kavanaugh of pulling the Abe Lincoln, jumping out the window with his penis in his hand. And apparently he landed on her penis first, rubbed the penis on her, and she was assaulted. Again, no evidence of this. And just when you think, well, damn, just 2 accusers, right? And according to liberal standards, man, Kavanaugh must be a saint. Well, lo and behold, another female came out, and she originally announced that she would come out in 48 hours. So apparently she needed 2 days to get her story straight. She claimed that Kavanaugh, when they went back in college, I believe, was having these parties there every weekend, running these trains on these women, spiking a punch. Every week that she was showing up, and it's all Kavanaugh and his friend now. Nobody else. He is the conductor, running all these trains. His nickname is the conductor now, and he's an honorary member of Two Live Crew. And spiking a punch that she would go to these parties every week now, knowing this was going on. And then lo and behold, one week, she quote-unquote drunk the punch and was Spike, and they ran the train on her. Of course, it doesn't make any sense. The story just not adding up. After all these years, you really can't prove anything. So the whole purpose of this was just simply to tarnish his name, because like I said, the statute of limitations has been up. And what the Republicans do? Nothing. And then, like I said, you remember this whole, Maxine Waters, Kerosene Maxine, when she basically told the snowflakes, all these social justice warriors out here, these liberal leftists, that, to go out and harass and hound members of Trump cabinet. You see them out in public at restaurants, shout them down, tell them that they're not wanted, go to their homes, disturb the peace, give them no quarter in their homes. And we saw that one of his cabinet members was harassed, and her and her husband were forced to leave a restaurant, or told to leave a restaurant because of the nonsense. And they harassed Candace Owens at a restaurant. It was cowards. Excuse me. And then we saw the latest thing with Ted Cruz and his wife, who also harassed at a restaurant. And again, the Republicans do nothing. Now, you know as well as I do, if there had been a Republican candidate, would have told conservatives and patriots to go out and harass members of Obama's cabinet, you know, they would have lost their mind. They would have asked for resignation. The person would have been fired, and again, the Republican Party would have complied, and that person would have been forced to either step down or have been fired, would have been impeached or whatever. But Maxine Water, kerosene Maxine, nothing. Again, and this is just a tip of the iceberg. We see the mass hysteria all the time, and again, Republicans, like I said, they have all the ammunition in the world to stop the nonsense. We could put it into this whole Kavanaugh nonsense a long time ago. Because I guarantee you, if I was in charge of the Republican Party, oh, I would load the hammer. By the time I was through, they would think 10 times before making false accusations. So why is it that the Republican parties, you know, to the point of this video, why is it that the Republican parties don't fight back? Well, I have my suspicions, you know, and not to go conspiracy theory on y'all, but I've heard someone say that Republicans and Democrats are two sides of the same coin. You know, they claim to be opposed to each other. They show they are opposed to each other, but in reality, they all want the same thing. They're all friends, and they want the same thing. And mind you, these are the upper echelon Republicans, right? Upper echelon politicians, and unfortunately, the lower tier ones follow suit. But they all want the same thing. And you know, it was Bush, the first Bush, that introduced us to the phrase New World Order. You know, he's saying that we could have a first chance at a New World Order, and basically globalism. So they all want the same thing. These upper echelon Republicans, Democrats, they all want the same thing. You know, they claim to be opposed to each other. It's like wrestling. You know, you watch professional wrestling, you have the good side and you have the bad side. You know, while the camera is rolling, they're all against each other. You know, the good side is against the bad side. But when the cameras start rolling and behind the scenes, they're all friends hanging out. Well, again, this explains the Republican Party as well as the Democrats, and why they never fight back, and why they complicit in a lot of the nonsense. And in a lot of ways, they almost push the same policies as the Democrats do. And again, it's all back to globalism and this whole thing of a New World Order. Now, again, that's my view on it. That's my explanation, and that's really the only explanation that I can come up with why the Republicans never fight back, despite having the ammunition to do so. Now, if anyone has another explanation, I would love to hear it, but from what I can see, this is the only plausible explanation that I can come up with why they do that. But I mean, like I said, if anybody else has any explanation, then please share it, and we can discuss it. But you know, this is my view on it. And as always, y'all, until next time.